Well, hey out there, this is Ralph, the YouTube mechanic, doing another project on, this is my 2006 Mercedes R500 that I got from an auction, sight unseen, and I think I got it for like $1,600. These are nice cars, but some people call them like Mercedes version of a minivan, but they don't have the sliding back doors. I like them because this is a 5.0 liter V8, so it's a minivan with a V8. Anyway, what I'm doing today is repairing or replacing this door. Look at that. I actually already replaced this one. I bought it online. This one was a lot easier because it had all the parts to it already. The one that I just got is empty. So I'm gonna attempt to do a full door replacement with so I'm gonna have to take off the interior and put it all on the other one. So here goes. So before I really start on this, the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure I have all the tools that I need. I'm actually up in Illinois. Normally my home is in Corpus Christi, Texas, but this is my home away from home. And thankfully I have this shop, it's my work fast technology group, to do this in because it's raining today outside and it's like 45 degrees. Anyway, I am going to first, like I said, look to see that I have all the tools, and I'm gonna tell you all the tools that I use. These buttons hide the only bolt that holds this panel on, which I just found out is a T25. So I do have that. And to get these buttons off, they just pull off, and then you pull out this middle piece. You pull that and it will allow you to slide the whole thing out. All right, next thing is to take off this speaker. And Mercedes likes to use these little tabs that you have to push in with something sharp to unplug it. The next thing to do is to take these clips off with the ribbon cables, and underneath them you push on this and pull, and it should release it. It's pretty tricky. Now I'm going to take all these clips off. I took two off already. These are already this is already with the other door, but this is not. So I'm taking all these Torx, which I'm not sure which Torx they are, and I'll let you know. These are T30 and they are on tight. So what I did was, since I'm using a makeshift, my travel tool box, I couldn't use the screwdriver, so I am using like a 1/4 inch, put the Torx in there, and then I can get some good grip on it. By the way, to take off the wiring harness from the door, because we're gonna take this whole door off, there's a clip down there that I probably broke one side, but it pulls up toward, you know, just round it up, and then it just pops right off. I wonder if I should just take this off and leave all these clipped on and just pull that whole wiring harness through. I'm not sure if I can, but the wiring harness is already on the other one. So what I was doing was unclipping everything, and then I was gonna leave it with this door and use the existing wiring harness with the new door. I mean, here it is. I just don't know how that works back there. I don't know. We'll see. Well, what I decided to do was leave the wiring harness with the door, and I couldn't get these things off. So what I did was, it's like held on by this tape. This will be put on the new door because this whole panel is going on to the new door. So like I said, I'm pulling this off and then these will stay, and then I can reattach the new wiring harness with the new door onto these clips. We'll see how that works. Okay, well, one step I forgot. I need to get this window out because mine didn't come with a window. So I have to take these access panels out, or access, yeah, and then use Torx to unbolt the window, and then I'll hold it up, and that way I can take everything out. Once you loosen these, you can pull the window up and just tape it. Now my window just stayed up, but I like to tape it just to make sure. Okay, and here's a tricky part I didn't figure out until now. To get the door handle off, which is right there, there's a screw or bolt that goes through, and it is a T15. You have to take this access panel off and fit a little screwdriver with a hex T15 on to unscrew that. All right, here was another tricky part. From the outside, the door handle was held on by this clip because that's what controls the lock and unlock button on the door handle. And I had to figure out how to unclip it. It was basically pulling that, and then it unclipped. And now for the mirror. There are two, you pull this out and it exposes two screws, and they are T20s. So there's the mirror removed with the insulation. I love the insulation in the Mercedes. It's just very sound deadening for sure. They left this one on. It just looks like they ripped the mirror right off when they shipped it to me, so I'm gonna have to take that part off. And the last part is to take the glass out, just remove a little tape, drop it down, and then pull it straight out. I couldn't film that, but here it is over there. See? All right, well, I took the door off, and I think I made another mistake. I took the brackets off because that is the way the back door came. It came with the brackets on it. So I didn't take the brackets off this door to put it on. I just put the brackets on. But as you can see, you have easy access to the bolts. Whereas up here, you don't because of the fender. So that was a very long process, like 15 minutes to take that off. And I didn't need to, I'm sure, because I just realized these are just bolts that bolt onto there. So I'm gonna try to install this new door with putting the brackets back on. All right, well, I have the new door back on, and these, by the way, are 15 millimeters. And I was like, what are these things? They're little covers, I guess, to cover that. I tried to mistakenly unbolt that with the plastic piece on, and then it came off, and I was like, oh, okay. So once you have the door on, now it's a matter of putting everything back on in reverse order. I put the mirror back on first with those 3 bolts, and then shoved the glass down from the top, and then just pull it up and then tape it until I got the window regulator and interior pieces back on. All right, well, there's the finished product. Sorry, it's dark out. I pulled it outside and didn't want to pull it back in. But anyway, I did want to make sure you knew one thing about an R500 and R350. There's a trim piece that's different. The 500 has chrome, and I guess the 350 has black. So I did not know that, but I'm gonna have to live with it. Anyway, there it is. Thanks.